Hop over to the USD CAD, a bullish right-hand translation. We have now moved out of this, hide this for a second, multi-month range. And I try to keep things very simple. You know, are we trending in an upward trending channel of a series of higher highs, higher lows? Are we range bound? That was a poorly drawn horizontal line where we're just vacillating inside of that range. If we are trading inside of the range, the highest odds trades are coming at the edges of range, right? And then when you break out of range, you can either break out and go, or you get a breakout test and go, right? What happened here? Draw your horizontal lines. We got a breakout test right there. This is your range. This is your breakout test. So you can see the same patterns set up all over the place. This is one that was really quite clear. And if you then overlay the drawings, you can see that the RS on the weekly was also firmly up going into that. So this is a clear breakout test. Now, this is something that you have to be really careful about using single candlesticks. That one candlestick looks a little ominous, but I have found it to really be critical more than ever, I would say in the past 5 years or so, to focus on the trend. Those trends are going to be more dominant than any individual candlestick pattern. And that is something that I think is really very important, is to focus on that trend. So just because there was one bar down like that had a clear shadow up, that doesn't mean that this is a failure. Did we end up trading back below that weekly low the following bar? No, we did not, right? We didn't even look near it. That was 139.26. So if you are looking to play a breakout retest right there, that bar leaves a bit of a tail. What I would be watching for is, do we stay out of range or do we re-enter range? In this case, we stayed out of range and we saw follow through. So that is the way that I have found it to be helpful to actually stay in a trade in spite of one, I would say, scary quote unquote candlestick. Try to use other tools to give it a chance, because think about how everyone else would be thinking, right? Off of this bar right here, everyone's thinking, all right, well, this is going to fail. Let me get short. And what happened? We ended up eating the tail and then ripping. It was actually the total opposite. So this is why we have to, have a process in place that isn't just based on single data points. You also have to have multiple data points around a given narrative in order for it to guide your decision making. That is really, really very important. And those data points need to be consistent. You can't just draw whatever you feel like. It has to be a clear and consistent and a very logical process every single time, in order for you to really be able to properly analyze your trades after the fact. You need to have a consistent process. It has to be very systematic in terms of your thinking. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard to iterate on that process. There's a low that is due 120 to 310, acting fine, still in that rising phase. Yes, getting a little bit later, but still in the rising phase. Short term, 17 to 120 is when this low is due. A bullish slim ribbon, bullish RS on the daily. So acting very strong here. 145 to 148. To 145.90 are the levels up.